Okay, so hey guys, I am about to do my makeup for, I wonder if I should turn this light off. Yeah, it could be off for now. So I am going to do my makeup for the day. This fly is actually gonna piss me off, which is like so annoying. I'm gonna do my makeup for today, and yeah, I thought I would just record it because that's what we gotta do. Hold on. This shit is having some technical difficulties. I can already see it. That was getting annoying. Um, so yeah, I'm actually going to record my little makeup routine, show you guys some of the products I use, and probably, yeah, just sit here and rant for the morning, you know how that goes. So we're gonna start. I need this mirror. But I have, it's weird, like I feel like I have dry and oily skin, but my skin gets really dry. Like it's really dry in here right now. I love these because it gets the extra dirt, but I had on makeup yesterday, so a lot of that is really makeup, but I swear by Noxzema pads, I swear to God. I've been doing the Asian skincare my cousin put me on, and I actually really like a lot of their products. No cap. Is there a show like this? Lately, I've been on sunscreen because I removed a few of my moles by myself at home. And so now I'm kind of like big on having, even if it's just a little sunscreen on, because yeah, black people, we need sunscreen too. We be trying to act like we don't, but we do. So, we do. All right. Now, all right. Now we're gonna get into the makeup side of things. All right. So first things first, we have Anastasia Eyebrow Freeze. I don't know if I'm holding it right to where y'all can see it, but it's by Anastasia. I say Anastasia. I don't know why I'm saying Anastasia. But it's basically just an eyebrow freeze. I like this stuff. So we have the Tarte Concealer. Just showing y'all. heard a few people complaining about this concealer on TikTok and stuff, but you know, I guess. But for me, it's like also too, makeup is so expensive, so I really can't even afford to throw this away if I even wanted to be honest. So we're gonna use it all up first, and then I'll get something different next time, or try something different, but it honestly works for me pretty well. They were just saying, I think they said it just dries too fast or something, which it kind of does. So now I'm just shaping my eyebrows. And I wear glasses, so don't make fun of how close I get to the mirror because, yes, it is that serious. And I do my makeup without my glasses on. So that really shows you how tea my makeup actually is. Okay? Just saying. So now, so the thing about me too is like I always wash off, except for my concealer brush, I wash off all of my brushes, all of my sponges with this. So I always keep some of this with my makeup bag because this shit, nothing can get your makeup brushes cleaner faster than this. If you're like me, where you clean all of your makeup brushes before you do your makeup, this is perfect. It'll literally have your makeup brushes white like that. And it'll sterilize them. Like, you really can't beat this shit. That's what I'm saying. You really can't beat it. So, I wash off everything with this. So, let's do that right now. Look at how it looks now. Let me show you after. I'll be showing you how well it is. It don't really matter, but how hard it helps too. So I'm just making sure all of the soap is out of it. This is how it looks after. So that's a pretty good difference for a sponge. Alright. Can't even be mad at that. No cap. And then it's like, you know, if you have acne or an infected area on your face, you don't want to keep using the same brush the next day, the next day, the next day. That's why the acne is never going away. So let's move on. So I put this on under my makeup before I put on like my foundation and stuff. It's just another way to keep your makeup matte, especially like, I mean, the summer is cool too, but I like this, like say you're going to the club, you know how hot it gets in the club and the parties and shit. Sometimes you start sweating or whatever, or sometimes it gets a little stuffy in there. This will have you looking matte all night. Even if you sweat a little bit, like very little though, but even if you do sweat, your makeup will kind of stay in place if you're not just like dripping sweat. But if you kind of get a little humid in your face and your face just feels a little wet, this will keep you looking matte, period. So let me do that. Once again, you're gonna clean it off. I'm probably a little OCD with cleaning off the brushes, but if I do this every time I do my makeup, I clean my brushes. And then I just kind of pat dry them. I have a towel right here. So I just kind of pat dry them so they're not dripping wet. And yeah. And you just kind of spread it. And you want to make sure it's kind of evenly placed on your hair. And I like to get my T-zone because, you know, that's probably where it's going to start happening first when you sweat. So. Alright, and we're going to let this dry now. So we're going to let this dry. And I just shake it and I apply it with one of the makeup brushes I'm not using for real. And so while that dries, the foundation I use, so don't laugh at me, but I still use drugstore foundation. I've been using it for years, and it's gonna be really hard at this point to wing me off of this shit. This is Nut Brown in True Match by L'Oreal. Yeah, it's gonna be really hard to wing me off of this shit, but it's what I use for now. Until I go back to Sephora and really get matched up like really good, this is what I'll be using, okay? So your girl uses drugstore foundation. Oh well, fuck you. And we're just waiting on this to dry right now. It doesn't really take that long to dry. You just gotta give it a few minutes so it's drying. And so then, yes, I'm gonna use the drugstore foundation. Then I will be using my concealer again to conceal my face. For my contouring, where the hell is it at? Oh, here it goes. To contour, I use Bare Minerals. Why the fuck did I think I was using Fenty Beauty? I think I tried Fenty Beauty and it was just one of the shades was too dark or whatever. I don't know. But this is actually Bare Minerals. This is what I use to contour my face. And this in the shade cinnamon. Okay, cinnamon 10.5 or something. I really like this concealer because with my skin color, it's really easy to use a contour stick that's too fucking dark. And when you conceal, like when you contour my face too dark, it really makes me look like, you know, because I have a square face, I have strong face features, and I hate to say it, but when people contour my face too dark, it really gives like trans woman. And I don't like it. So, this is best. It's not too dark, and the way I use it, I don't like pile it on. So, that's what I use. And I think this is about dry. We're gonna give it a few more minutes, a few more seconds. But yeah, that's what I use to contour my face. And then to highlight my face, I have two highlights. So I have one by Anastasia again. Clearly, I kind of like their brand for the little accessory stuff. And then I have this Wet n Wild one. I forgot where I got this. I got this for free somehow from somewhere. I think when I used to work at the photography studio, people would leave a bunch of makeup products, and so I got one. And this is Wet n Wild, and these two highlights are completely different colors. This one comes on like yellow gold highlighter. This one comes on more of like a silvery shine to your face. Like this one's definitely yellow, and this one definitely comes on more, I don't want to say silver, but it doesn't have like a yellow tone to it, this one. So I use this one on my cheeks, and I use this one under my eyebrows. And then sometimes when I want to highlight my eyes right here, I still use this one again too. But you guys are going to see. So let's do this part. And it smells minty too because of the soap. So we're just going to pour a glob on there like that, you know what I mean? And yeah, we're going to go ahead and boop, boop. Oh shit, boop. And I'm just kind of going down on my eyebrows a little bit just so that they match. And yeah, I'm just going to blend. And it's crazy because I know this sponge holds a lot of the solution. That's what people say. That's why people don't like sponges, because it soaks up a lot of your makeup. That's why when I wash out the sponge every day, it's so much makeup coming out of it. But we're just gonna keep spreading it. We're just gonna keep spreading it, and then we're gonna get a little more. I ain't gonna lie. And you're just gonna cover up all the white areas, really, because, and you also kind of want to be, I don't want to say you want to be quick, but you kind of want to be quick because the what is it called? Fuck. It's a fucking, so basically that Phillips is like a laxative. So because the Dr. Phillips or whatever it is a laxative, it kind of dries really fast on your face, and then it can make your face look like cakey or something. So you want to hurry up and put the foundation on right when the laxative dries, so that you don't have patches on your dried up patches of the laxative on your makeup. It's almost like your makeup soaks up the laxative, and keeps it from drying out on your face. I'm sorry. Ooh. Keeps it from drying out on your face. So you kind of want to be quick about putting makeup on top of it. And so that's what we just did. And so now I'm just gonna take some of the makeup, go like this, and I just literally just put some right here because the concealer is lighter than me, so I darken it up with my actual foundation. Some people conceal their eyes or line up their eyebrows with their foundation. I'm old school. I still use concealer, but my concealers aren't extremely lighter than me, which helps. Makeup is so messy, like, bro. I'm so glad I haven't had a bad spill in here. I just got that shit on my ankles when that fucking top dropped. Look, he tried to get everywhere. Ooh, makeup is so messy. Oh my god, it really did get more places. I should use a baby wipe too. Hold on, y'all. Cleaning break because I am OCD. I do not like makeup stains. It was one time I was in college and I went to a friend's, it's not a dorm room because by then we had apartments, but I went to her apartment and I don't know, I'm just assuming, but I think she had spilled her makeup in the tub and it really looked like her tub was stained with makeup. I was like, I couldn't believe, it was like, imagine the whole bottom of the tub covered with whatever color makeup she was. I was like, girl, what the fuck happened in here? What did you do? But that's neither here nor there. All right, let's move on. So then I'm just going to blend it in under my eyes. And I just want to say, sometimes this may seem weird, but sometimes I'm so proud of myself for even being able to come this far with makeup because, okay, this one's kind of messed up. Because, you know, my mom, I didn't really have my mom the way I would have liked growing up because my mom was an alcoholic. And so I spent a lot of my teenage years with my grandparents. And I didn't really have I had my cousins and things like that, and I would watch my cousin do makeup in the mirror, and there's little tips I got from her that I still use today as far as wetting my sponges or wetting this or cleaning it this way. But I really didn't have any sisters or a mom to really look up to makeup wise. I really had, when I went to college, I really had to learn a lot of that shit on my own. I had a couple friends here and there. I had one roommate who helped me learn how to put on lashes. Shout out to her. This is when I was staying in UAV at TSU. But I really didn't just have a lot of people to really look up to do makeup. I really didn't have that. And so yeah, so sometimes I'm really proud of myself for being able to do makeup the way I do. And I had to go through that stage of makeup blindness. I went through makeup blindness. I went through lash blindness. I went through eyebrow blindness. I even went through blush blindness. for like a short second. That didn't last long because I wasn't gonna keep walking around looking like no fucking clown. But I was blind to a lot of those things. And yeah, I guess I'm just happy that I was able to learn well enough to do my own face. So shout out to me. So now I'm just finna like basically just like, this is all I do with this brush. And you just shape them. You see how they're sticking up? Now we're just going to go through and lay them down like that. Now it gives you that natural eyebrow arched look, you know what I mean? So now they look arched, they look straight up, but they also look like they're going a certain way. So yeah, and then now we're gonna conceal it up. I used to be very heavy-handed with concealer, and I'm learning now I don't have to be. I swear I am. So, all right. So I usually use this concealer brush. I am going to clean it off just a little bit. A part of me doesn't want to, but no, I'm going to clean this brush off. Sometimes I like how my concealer looks when I don't clean the brush off, but I'm so OCD about cleaning these brushes. So I'm just going to clean this off. I dry my hands too because the last thing you want is some water to drip on your face. It gives me fucking anxiety. Alright, so now we're just going to, and I'm gonna be honest, when it comes to blending this foundation, I can't promise you that I'm blending the way I'm supposed to, but you know, I'm trying. I just make sure it doesn't look all spotty. But I feel like it's a certain way you brush the concealer so that it looks even. And then I also heard too, you don't want to blend the concealer in your face because concealer is doing a job. It's supposed to be heavy, like how it is now. Like I don't want to blend way too much more after this. So I'm just gonna line up my nose with what I do have on the brush. Boom. And like that. And so now we're gonna do this side. Let's get into it. Boom. Now we're just going to blend down a little bit. Alright. And so that's kind of the finished look. Well, now let me do right here. All right. And so now let's contour. So I literally just take the contour stick and I just go boop, boop, boop. See, like that? I'm gonna do it to this side. And I put two up there like that. So you can kind of see the circles where I put contour. It doesn't look like a lot, but I got this. So I use this brush to put on my blush and to contour my face. I don't really wash it that often, and yeah, I don't know. I just don't, but some brushes you gotta keep them where they at. So they keep doing the same thing. I think since I've had this brush, I have washed it like once, twice. If it falls on the floor, I wash it. And you just kind of bring that contour into the concealer like that. That's what I do. And then makeup always makes my nose so, and yeah, just kind of do it like that. Part of me just wants a little bit more concealer in here. I don't usually do this, but I am right now because I spread it too much. So I'm just gonna add a little more concealer. We're just gonna keep this layer thick right here. Same on this side. Boom. All right. So now that I've done that, we're going to blend the top because yeah. So that's much better. Now the face is coming together. And so now, oh, and my nose. I almost forgot to conceal my nose. What the fuck? So, oh shit, for this part, we're just going to basically like, whoop. And we're gonna come over here and go boop, same way. And now we're gonna blend that. So I just go up here. You gotta pee?
I take shit.
Hold on.
I'm so tired.
Yeah, you seem like it. My boyfriend gotta take a shit. Contoured nose. I'm gonna be back. Let this nigga take a shit. And we'll be back. This is my whole makeup bag. Crazy. Baby. You can use the bathroom, baby. You gotta use it? I'm recording. So let's see. I'm trying to see my face in a different light. So it looks good. I'm actually gonna contour my nose a little more right here. On this side. But all in all, my face looks good so far, but we're nowhere near done. Nowhere near done. So while he's taking a bathroom break, and he better not be in there all day fucking taking a shit. Damn. But I'm finna wash some of these dishes. I think that's what I'm finna do. I definitely need to. Oof. Yeah. Sorry, y'all. I'm taking a whole break in between the makeup routine at this point. So it's crazy because I just thought of this, but everybody's talking about B. Simone and the video she posted about your friends not being your real friends. And I just thought it was interesting. I saw this girl on TikTok and she was basically saying that B. Simone seems like she's more spiteful than anything. Which I could see that. I just thought it was weird that when they created their new podcast, she named hers Let's Try This Again. Like, girl, what? Let's try this again. Why are you acting like... It's just no way for me to possibly believe that Megan was that bad of a friend to make you that uncomfortable. You know? But you never know. And then that other podcast I really like, JstUs podcast, I can't believe that they're not a podcast no more. And it's interesting because they had a little feud on one of the episodes where they talked it out. And then a couple of episodes after that, that's when Jacob comes on and he's just like, hey, that's the end of JstUs podcast. We appreciate you guys for watching and tuning in. If you want more, you can come tune in to his personal podcast. And it's just so sad because I know they had got into it the first time and they talked about it on the podcast and they were like, you know, it was basically a mishap that happened while they were out. But they talked about it. They talked about not losing the podcast behind something petty like that. And for them to still end up getting rid of their podcast after that, a few episodes after that, I was like, oh yeah, they must have got into it again or something happened. And Amber probably told him again, like, I don't need the podcast. And this time around, Jacob was like, shit, I'm tired of begging her to stay on this podcast. And decided to go their separate ways. But it just really sucks because I really kind of like their podcast and they were a good team and they were a fun podcast. It sucks that their differences became too much to uphold the podcast. But shit happens, you know. Shit happens. You could tell though, like that episode that got into it, Amber was willing to end it all. She didn't give a fuck behind her respect. And one thing I'll say is I'm the same way. I'm not saying I would just throw away a whole podcast because that's something big you start together. But when you find out your friends don't have the same morals as you or don't stand for the same things you stand for, and I don't really know their business. I don't know what happened. I'm just saying for me. Yeah, it makes you not want to work with them anymore. Like, you know, not everybody is going to be willing to work with people. I think we're coming into an age where it's going to take more than just running a business together to have a business together. I feel like a lot of people now are kind of very serious about their loyalty, or at least you know, I've always been serious about my loyalty, but now I'm coming into an age where I'm really serious about that when it comes to my friends, and I expect my friends to kind of stand for some of the things I stand for, and you know, willing to go 100 to 1,000 about me. So I can understand that. Now, Amber does kind of give that she's a little, from the last episode I watched, Amber does give that she's a little childish when it comes to her friendships, only because she's the type to date a man that's not good for her and then blame everybody around her about it besides him. And I could tell that's what was getting in between her and Jacob. And the thing about that is, what women got to understand is your friends are not going to deal with your toxic relationships forever. It like toxic relationships kind of take a toll on your friendships because when you're in those toxic relationships, it has you doing things that you don't normally do. It has you accepting things that none of your friends or peers accept. And then it also has you thinking that when you're disrespected by that toxic person, that it's somebody else's fault. Like, you can't, like, even in the podcast, like, Amber, you can't blame Jacob for the fact that your nigga is loose. Like, if your nigga's loose, then he's just loose. It's nothing you can do about that. You know what I mean? All that means is stop bringing him places. You feel me? And what it really means is stop dating men that when you go somewhere, they're comfortable disrespecting you, talking to women in your face. The fact that a man is dating you and when he goes out with you, he's worried about any other woman around him is a problem, in my opinion. So that's what a lot of people in toxic relationships don't understand is that all of that second guessing you're doing, all of that energy you're bringing to a public place when we're all going out, it affects your friends. I've had plenty of friends who were dating men that did not fuck with them on the level that they wanted that man to, but because they kept wanting to force it, it started to take a toll on our friendship. They would start flaking on me, or they would even start kind of flipping the story around so that it doesn't look as bad as he actually did do her. And or you find your friends making excuses for these men, you feel me? And it just takes a toll on your friendship. I know for me, my friend she would tell me one thing about this guy, and then the next minute she would try and flip it so it didn't look as bad as it was. And ultimately, it just puts you in a position where you're not able to be yourself. And when you are yourself, you're always arguing or always in a situation with this person because they're not really loyal to you or not really fucking with you. And just in general, if you're dating somebody, why would you want to date somebody when you go out, they act single? Like, Women just gotta understand it's okay to say, I'm not fucking with you. We're not on the same page. And I'm going to set you free because I don't have time. Once women understand that they really don't have time to be treated poorly, they'll start to act on leaving certain relationships and doing certain things. So I respected Jacob for letting her know, like, you can't be mad at me when this isn't the first time we've gone somewhere. He's disrespected you in public. He does it on purpose, and you've let it happen, and you'll just sit there and say, oh, well, that's not my nigga. You know, we're not really together, so it don't matter. He can do what he want to do. And it's like, women, we have to stop always saying things that we think men want to hear to make them want us more, because it's not working. You know, you actually don't want him to do what he want to do when he go out. You actually want him to be faithful to you. You actually want him to be in a relationship with you, and he should want those things. And if he doesn't want those things, X that nigga. It's okay. And Amber, she actually has a platform. She's a successful woman. She's a beautiful woman. She's a motivational woman. If a man doesn't want all of those great qualities in a woman, he's probably a little slow. He's probably a little slow. And another thing is, at her status that she's at, you don't want to just be dating a man who's just feeding off of your status. Like, he's not even fucking with you for real, but you're inviting him to all the events, all the vacations. Yeah, Jacob had to let her know, like, you've allowed yourself to be embarrassed by this man a few times. A few times. So when we go out to third base, don't act like you don't know that this man always does this to you. You know? And I thought they were gonna make a good turnover, because she came back on a episode after that and said how she had finally stopped dating him. She said she was going through it. She was low-key begging for him to stay with her, and she's just actually glad he's gone. And I am too. You know, I feel like once women get over that hump of feeling like this is the only man you'll ever have, you start realizing how much respect you deserve. And yes, when you're respecting yourself, when you're trying to give yourself the love you deserve and all of that, it gets lonely. Yeah, you are going to have to watch that person leave you. And yeah, if you follow them, you are going to have to watch them date somebody else. You are going to have to get comfortable with the fact that they're not going to be with you anymore. But that's all just to make room for something else beautiful to happen for you. So I feel like for her, it was that. Like, she needed to realize, like, okay, this man does not want me. He's just using me. As long as I'm here, he's going to use me. If I leave, he can't use me. But if I stay, he's going to continue to use me. And I think that's another thing women have to understand. What you allow is going to continue. What you allow is going to continue. If you've allowed him to cheat on you, leave you, neglect you, that's going to continue. And the only way it's not is if you leave him for good. Straight up. You have to leave for good. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, you know. I thought once she did that, I was like, okay, their podcast is going to take a whole new leaf. And sadly, a couple episodes after that, he was like, podcast over. I said, no. I said they probably got into it again, and I hope they're still cool. I think last thing I looked up, they were, they had unfollowed each, well, I didn't look it up. TikTok, you know, TikTok knows all. They had unfollowed each other and started their own. Jacob started his own podcast, and Amber is starting it seems like a nonprofit, a motivational nonprofit for people who need people to talk to, which I think is amazing because she's super motivational. I watch her every morning, whether it's the nails or her that's the good part about that. thing about my nigga is he likes to take long shits on the toilet and roll blunts. I love him to death though, but not wrong. So, yeah, that's just my little take on Amber and Jacob. I really enjoyed their podcast. That's the trash can. Trash day. But I really enjoyed their podcast. It just sucks. It sucks. It sucks it ended the way it did. And it's crazy because the episode where Jacob was talking to her about how she is with her man, he was low-key begging her not to give up that podcast. He was begging and pleading with her, like, we need this podcast. We have fans. So I know whatever happened amongst them, he realized, like, as much as I want to save this podcast, it's not worth it. And that's so sad. Oh, it's so sad. Super sad. Yeah, so I really like their podcast. That's what it is. Alright, I'm done washing dishes for a second. Let's get back into the makeup. Let's get back into the makeup side of things. Well, bathroom is still occupied, so we're still here. But yes, anyways, back on the subject of things. That's why I'm not in a lot of, well, not in a lot, but that's why I lost a couple friendships at the beginning of this year. Not beginning of this year, more of like last year actually, because we're in 2024, but yeah, I just was uncomfortable with some of the situations that was coming with having friends in toxic relationships. And I've been in toxic relationships of my own, you know, but one thing I will say about myself that makes me different is I really get myself out of my own situations. I really do. I don't stay for long when it comes to being mistreated, cheated on, abused, mistreated. Just the shit I've been through in relationships has made me very, very stern and gave me tough skin to the point where I just know that I don't have to deal with anything like that. You know what I mean? Um, but it doesn't change the fact that things happen. And I feel as though the difference between me and my friends is my friends stayed in fucked up situations like that. They're probably, honestly, I'm not even friends with them anymore. And they're probably still in those same dead situations that aren't really serving them or stopped serving them a long time ago. And, you know, I'm not saying this to say that, like, my relationship's perfect or anything like that, but I will say, like, my friends have been dealing with, I don't know if you can really call it infidelity if you're not married, but they've dealt with being cheated on for years. One of them, her dude, like, I don't even know if financially if he ever got himself together. But you know, one of them, it actually really hurt me because it ended up where she ended up saying she needed to take time for herself so that she could be a better friend for me. And as sincere as that sentence sounds, the reality of it is that she was so caught up in the dude she was dating. And I feel like what it really was is one day I called her out on something that she had told me, and I feel like it made her realize like how much I really knew about their relationship and how fucked up it really was, even though she talks to me about everything. But I feel like it was that realization, like, oh, like, because you know, and around this time she was calling me best friend and stuff, and I really feel like the only reason I was being called best friend is because I was the only one still willing to listen to those relationship problems. And that's another thing they don't talk about. Like, when you're in toxic relationship for years at a time, people get tired of hearing the same stories over and over again and you not acting on it. And I feel as though, you know, my friends, they were also the type where they would call and they would want to talk about toxic relationship stuff. Like, they would call and have all this negative stuff to talk about within their relationships. One of them was in a relationship, the other one, I really don't think that was a relationship, but that's neither here nor there. And they would just always call, and it's almost like they wanted to have a pity party together or trauma bond. And I had got to a point where, you know, I was leaving toxic situations left and right. Like, I was not playing, okay? Because look at me. Yeah. So you're not gonna dog me. No. And as soon as I get a whiff that you're into, I'm out of there. And so I felt like they would kind of call for that. And when I got to the point where I didn't really have anything negative to say, even in my like sneaky link situation at that time, I didn't have anything negative to really say, not that extreme at least. And so it got to the point where I started to realize like I'm running out of things to have in common with these girls. Like, I don't have anything in common with them. And it's not to say you have to have something in common with somebody, but I can't talk to them about anything else. And when we do talk about other stuff, we're not taking that as seriously as when we talk about the ain't shit niggas. And that was starting to drain me. I felt like I had also went through some relationship problems that were very triggering, and to keep seeing them be comfortable living in that every day over and over again, to me was like, it was just triggering, and I just was running out of things to have in common with them. One of them, I remember I called just to say like, hey, let's plan a girls trip to Jamaica. You know, let's just go and do some boss bitch shit, just us. You can still go home to that nigga afterwards, but at least we're going out having our own fun, and y'all aren't just sitting at home while they're out cheating on you. I just didn't understand like why women don't want to live their life while the man is out living his life. I don't get that. And she was like, oh no, I quit my jobs often. Me and him don't have any money. I just don't think I'll be able to plan a trip like that. I said, okay, I understand. Around this time I was scamming. I was doing everything almost besides working. So I was doing music videos. I was doing, like I said, I was making my money other ways. So I wasn't tripping. Then why she called me the next day and go, oh, guess what? I said, what? She said, me and such are gonna go to Jamaica. So you denied going to Jamaica with me? Somebody who actually you could really plan that shit with because we both have money right now. And instead, you went to your dude, told him how I invited you to Jamaica on a girls trip, and decided to plan a trip with him to Jamaica. Now, what sense does that make? Is that not weird? Is that not weird that I asked somebody to go somewhere with me and they asked somebody else after telling me no? The fuck? I'm on YouTube. You feel better? I'm gonna finish my makeup. Okay, hold on. Let me set you. But yeah, I don't understand how I asked you to go with me to Jamaica on a girls trip. You tell me no because you won't have money. You gave me every excuse in the book, actually. She actually gave me every excuse in the book to not go. Right? Every excuse in the book to not go. Called me the next day and said, hey, guess what? Me and him are gonna go instead. It's almost like she was so upset that it was almost like, first off, she didn't want to go on a trip like that without saying she went on a trip like that with her boyfriend. It honestly really insulted me because I want my friends to be in healthy relationships so that we can do healthy things together. Couples trips, girls trips. I want to be like Sex in the fucking City with my homegirls. And to see them just spend 365 days a year arguing and being depressed and trying to keep up with a man who is cheating on them and not on the same page as them, and they're the breadwinners. Yeah, I was insulted. For sure. I was insulted and at that point I was damn near done with the friendship. I was, because at this point what you're showing me is we'll never go on girls trips, we'll never do anything together. And mind you, these are friends, some of these are friends I have out of state, some of them are in state in LA with me where I grew up. But it's the fact that made me realize I would never be able to have real friendship with them because they spend every waking moment trying to stay near or in a city next to the nigga that's dogging them daily. And I'm talking Airbnb plays, I'm talking vacations, I'm talking real boss bitch shit, for real, honestly, I was. And they wasn't on that. They wasn't on that. And like I said, it really hurt. It really hurt me. It really did, because for you to cut me off for somebody that doesn't fuck with you like that is interesting. Really interesting. So, okay, my nose looks good. Alright, so let's put these finishing touches on so you can see the final results. But yeah, that really bothered me. Like, what do you mean? Like, you literally said, oh no, I'm gonna be broke, I'm not gonna work, I'm paying rent by myself, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and then you sat there and had a delulu conversation with your dude and then decided to go to Jamaica? Yeah, alright. And that's really dawned on me that my friends weren't my friend to really do things with me and be my friend. They were only my friend because they needed somebody to trauma dump on. So now I'm sorry, I didn't even show you. I'm talking shit. So this is my setting powder. At first I was using Anastasia's, but it was just too translucent. This one is actually dark yellow. I really like it. I love it. And I feel like just for brown skin tones, dark colors, you want that deep yellow setting powder. And I've honestly been loving it so far. So I'm just putting some on, you know. But yeah, that was just really crazy to me. I had never, like, I just couldn't believe she did that. I really couldn't. And that is when I realized, like, I'm triggered by a lot of the shit they have going on anyway. We're not gonna be able to do girls things together. They not wanting to. Um, and so I just slowly just realized I don't have much to talk to them about, you know. And what it really is the door is always open for me. I miss them, love them, but they won't be able to be a good friend for me until they stop dating those particular men. And I don't care what it says. I don't care if the man changed tomorrow. They will never be able to know what it's like to maintain healthy relationships until they get rid of that shit. So rid of those men. So out of my control. So now what I'm doing is I'm just gonna let this powder sit on my face. I'm gonna go hit the blunt real quick. And then we're gonna highlight and we're gonna do mascara and then we're done. Let me actually do keep this part over here. You hear the fucking dogs? We wake up to them dogs every day. But yeah. And my other friend, the one that was here, she wasn't as much of a flake, but when it came to trips, she was. She didn't come to my birthday, all because the dude she was fucking with, who wasn't really fucking with her like that, didn't want her going to Houston. And I don't even know if he really didn't want her to go. I think she just wanted to feel like in her mind that he was overprotective about her, even though he wasn't. So, you know, that's what happened. I know sometimes it looks like I'm at a lack of friends, and for somebody who's lived in a few states, I've lived in Missouri for a couple, I'm from Los Angeles. I've lived in Missouri a couple of years. I've lived in Atlanta for a year. I lived in Houston for like 4 years. And I have plenty of friends. I have friends that I do love and care about dearly. Like, I would crash out for them at any point in time. And So, but it sucks seeing how many friendships I've actually lost over the years as well. It feels a little crooked. Maybe my phone is crooked. Is my nose crooked? What it is I could have put some more setting powder right there, which I'm about to do. So, yeah. But, you know, my friend Q, he was like, just make sure you always leave the door open. And I said, absolutely. I told him the door is always open. I love people, you know. What I want to do is like put it a little farther up here so it matches. It's a little better. Yeah, the door is always open though. I am, you know, I'm not like that. The door is always open. You know, but I guess I realized me talking to my friends or being direct with them or telling them shit they already know is not going to push them into the right direction or the direction I feel like is best for them. I feel like giving them space was the best thing. That's the best thing I can come up with. It sucks, but it's the best thing I can come up with. I'm gonna hurry up and do this now. We've been on here almost 2 hours, and I know you guys have had enough. Right, and see, not bad, right? Not shabby, not shabby. Now what we're gonna do is I'm like OD sometimes when it comes to the nose contour. I don't know why. I just sometimes be OD. Cool. So for my blush, I use orange eyeshadow as my blush. This is Color Black by Huda Beauty. Huda Beauty is like on their shit lately, but yeah, so literally, so you can see, I just literally boop, 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 boop. Feel me? And then I just go do, 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 do. And you could barely see it, but I add on as I go. Feel me? So we're gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it in the mirror this time so y'all can see what I'm talking about. And look at that. It's like real subtle. See? And then you just blend it into the cheek. I just blend it into the cheek like that. I'm gonna do a little more. And so now I have this like orange look. I probably don't always put the blush in the most right place, but I try. And then this is where this comes into play, like I was telling you. So I literally just go like that. It's barely in there. Just go like that. And I do that for both sides. And just kind of put a highlight on it. I don't know. Then I literally just take my finger and go like that. And I just go on my nose. Go like that. Okay. And then take a little brush. And we're gonna put the highlight. Okay. And then this is the last part. I put all my moles back, so. See, boom, 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 boom. You just put them back, real cutesy. And then, oh yeah, I've had this mascara for almost 2 years. I just wet it. And that's how I've been making this shit stretch for almost 2 years. And yeah, just kind of, I swear you wet it. Bring it, you want to put some water in it, bring it back to life. Boom. And that is the finished look. Now my edges aren't done, but get into it. What you think? I'm trying to think, am I missing anything? One more thing. about that. Phone's about to die. So we're really finna finish. So my boyfriend is a real one. He said to blend a little more right here. Okay. He be noticing. All right. And very last thing we're gonna do. Oh, two things. So I also take the highlight, and I've done my highlight better than this, but that's cool. I just take it on my finger again like this, and I just go on the little button of my nose, like that. Oh shit. And just highlight the tip of my nose to give it a little, where's the button look? I feel like my nose is kind of big, so I be wanting to contour it. And so they're starting to, instead of using a setting spray at the end, use a fixing spray. This is a setting spray. I don't have a fixing spray, but I will say this. I plan on trying this brand's fixing spray. So putting you on now, don't get this, try the fixing spray by SO, I literally forget the name of this brand, but yes, I've been seeing the girls use it and I think it's probably to die for. I'm just really big on saving my money, so I'm not gonna get anything until I finish this, and I still have a lot in here, but yeah. And so then I just shake it, spray like down too, because I've sprayed my nose like a dummy. And I just put enough on to make my face look soaking wet like that, feel me? And then just let it dry. So let me go get the lighter. Just gonna let it dry. Baby, let me see the lighter. So yeah, but this is the finished product, guys. So what do you think? It's drying still a little, but close up. And this isn't, and with this look, lately I've been doing no lashes, but throw on some lashes and it'll really be like, I've just been trying to do the natural girl look, that natural light, you know? And then also too, sometimes I do a lip. I'm not right now because I'm smoking and chilling. I just wanted to show you guys my routine a little bit. The setting spray I did use, if you guys are wondering, is by Urban Decay All Nighter. It's the purple bottle. When you go, they're gonna have a purple bottle and a black bottle. I use the purple one. But another thing I do too is when I go to makeup stores and stuff and I'm kind of like nervous, like I don't know what products to get because it's a million in there. If you're going for a certain look that you've seen before, literally just tell the girls at the store that. Like I tell when I go to Sephora, or if I go to, really when I go to Sephora, I literally tell, like this last time when so this is a whole new makeup bag. I had a whole nother makeup bag or whatever. I had to get new makeup. When I went to the store, I literally told the girl like, hey, get me all the products that the girls are using. The colors I need though, but I want the products that the girls are using right now. And she was like, I got you. And that's how I came up on Anastasia. It's probably Anastasia, but I like saying Anastasia. Anastasia. The homegirl Sarah put me on to this, no cap. The Phillips, another girl put me on to that. the laxative I put on. But other than that, all the other products I have besides my mascara is mainly something recommended to me literally in Sephora. So shout out to y'all because she was a black girl, wish I knew her name, but she got me together for the most part. Like, I think this too, it's crazy because I think this is actually for eyebrows. Oh, this is actually eyeliner. So I never put on eyeliner. I'm actually pretty terrified of eyeliner. But I still got one because I wanted a full makeup kit just in case I start to practice. But I used the liquid eyeliner by Stilla. I don't know if you can see it. By Stilla, to put my moles back. So when my makeup's done, I just go back and I can always see my moles up under my makeup, so I just go back and color them back in basically. And I feel like it adds a more even upscale look to my makeup because it's just sometimes makeup can be about the details, like, you know. So, and once you know your face, you know, and once you know what your face can, or is supposed to look like with makeup on, you can kind of be like, okay, like, and the gag is I don't even put makeup on the bottom of my face. Now that I told you, I'm sure it's very noticeable, but I feel like that adds a natural look to my face too. It makes sure that my makeup is actually my color in a weird way. I don't know. But yeah. Once I do my edges again for the day, it'll, you know, really come into play. I'll probably do it later though, but yes, what do you guys think? I think, and then you're also supposed to wipe the makeup off your lips afterward. Don't forget to do that because sometimes I'll be looking shadow lipped. But yeah, what do you guys think? If you guys, you know, quick little routine, probably not the greatest routine, probably got a long way to go, but that's my makeup routine. So yeah, and that's how we're starting our day. Mm-mm-mm. Looks pretty good. I'm telling you, when you wet that mascara, if your mascara feels like it's drying out in the bottle, no. No, no, no. Do not go buy a new one. Don't. No. What you're gonna do is just take this part right here, run it through the water. All right, run it through the water. Ooh, just like that. Stick it in there. Back new. It's like it's gonna be back new. You just gonna stick it in there. You don't even gotta wiggle it around. Just all that extra mascara, it's gonna be back new. All right, because we're also balling on that budget. Yeah, we are, we are, and we're not afraid to say so. And so yeah, that's what I do. And I've been doing that for months now. My lashes are fine. If anything, I feel like my lashes are growing because I'm not wearing strips all the time or getting extensions. So I feel like my lashes are at their healthiest right now. started the day early, y'all. Oh man. All right, well, yeah, that was my makeup tutorial showing you a little bit of what is in my makeup box. And yes, I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.